So I got a message asking if I could compare iWork '09 to Microsoft Office for Mac 2008, and I thought it was a great idea. I asked on Twitter and I got an overwhelming number of responses saying that I should do it. So that's what this video is today. Each Office suite has an application for word processing, spreadsheets, and presentations. But before I get into each separate application, I'll do a little overview, I guess. All of iWork's applications are built to be simple and easy to use, and it's reflected by the interface of each application. So when you launch Pages, Keynote, and even Numbers, a template picker comes up. If this bothers you, you can deactivate it in the Preferences. The interface for all the applications is similar, so it's easy to figure out how to use one application when familiar with another. They each have buttons for common actions in the main window, and then there's an inspector palette for other features. Microsoft Office for Mac does not have a template chooser when you first open a document, so instead each application will open with a blank document. Like iWork, each application has a toolbar and elements gallery in the main window and a formatting palette known as the toolbox. However, the formatting palettes are kind of complicated and you have to expand multiple arrows in, say, an application like Word to change the font and the things like that, so it can really clutter up your desktop. In iWork applications, each option in the inspector palette is contained in a different tab, so it definitely reduces clutter. I mentioned earlier that Microsoft Office has an elements gallery in every application, and that's just a bar where you can access features like word art, and I like that feature a lot, except for that it can get kind of laggy sometimes with the little animations that they have. The application used for word processing in iWork is called Pages, and obviously in Microsoft Office, it's Microsoft Word. Both Word and Pages easily get the job done if you're typing something simple like an essay or a report. But for power users, Word definitely has a few more features such as autosave, footnotes, and word art. One of my favorite features that's easily accessible in Word is Smart Art Graphics. It's really useful when you're making study guides or taking notes, and I haven't found a feature like this in Pages besides charts, which really isn't anywhere near the same thing, but you can always try to make something similar using shapes, but that can be time consuming and usually won't turn out as nice looking as the Smart Art Graphics. Pages has an outline button, and it's really useful for obviously making outlines. This will turn any document into an outline form if you click the button. You can also create a document in outline form when in the template chooser or going File, New from Template chooser. Outlines have neat features like expanding and collapsing sections and easily rearranging different sections. In Word, you can attempt to type an outline from scratch, but it will autocorrect you, and when it works, it's really great, but when it doesn't, it's extremely annoying, and I end up turning off autocorrect. There's also a nice notebook view, but it's definitely more visually appealing than useful. Both applications have templates if you're creating a report or something creative like a brochure, but iWork is definitely the master of templates. Like I said earlier, there's a template chooser for each application when you first launch them, and all the templates are separated into different categories. In Word, you can access some nice templates for a report by going to Document Elements, but you have to go to File, Project Gallery for a complete list of templates. It's disorganized, got a cluttered interface, and there's not a large variety of templates to choose from like in Pages. The templates in Pages are so easy to work with. Even when you're not in a template, if you're in like a blank document, it's really easy to work with pictures and shapes, which makes it really great for projects. Word makes everything too complicated by giving you several different toolbar add-ons for different features like pictures, and it ends up intimidating the user. Bottom line, Pages has tons of features for visually appealing documents, but Word, as usual, is great for typing something out like an essay. I'm sure everyone knows that in Microsoft Office, Excel is the application used for making spreadsheets because it is the standard, and in iWork the application used is called Numbers. I'm not going to go in depth here because I really don't use either of these applications too often, although I'm starting to more, but that's off topic. Anyways, Excel is obviously the standard and you can do a lot more in it, so I'm just going to tell you that right from the beginning. It does require some expertise to use a lot of its unique features though. Numbers has several templates ranging from personal finance to education. You can access templates in Excel using the Elements Gallery, but I'm pretty sure that most people who use Excel don't use the templates often. The templates in Excel don't come close to those in Numbers, and in Numbers you can easily save a document as a template. Excel uses a tabbed interface to display spreadsheets, whereas Numbers lets you have multiple tables on one sheet. You can resize tables and drag them anywhere on the screen. I really love how easy it is to customize the table styles as well. All you have to do is drag and drop a style from the bottom left onto a table to change it. And then, like the rest of the iWork suite, you can further customize everything with the inspector. From there, you can use the inspector to make your own styles and save them. This feature is available in Excel as well, but it's harder to find. Most common features in Excel have buttons in the main window instead of the little toolbox or inspector, whatever you want to call it. But for some reason, common functions are still displayed in the toolbox, which really makes no sense. When a cell in Numbers is selected, common formulas, functions, whatever you want to call them, are displayed in the bottom left near the styles. You can also view more functions by clicking the Functions button right in the toolbar. Come on, Microsoft! Even Numbers has easy-to-access functions. The placement of functions in Numbers is definitely better, but Excel includes many more. In fact, Excel has more than twice as many functions as Numbers does. And again, I'm sure the average user wouldn't really notice. As far as making charts go, there are more types of charts in Excel, but they are easier to work with in Numbers. It's very intuitive, like the rest of iWork's applications, and they offer several options for making your graphs unique that Excel doesn't, like changing the whole three-dimensional scheme of things. The texture of the bar graphs has textures that Excel doesn't, things like that. I'm sure Numbers would suit an elementary student's needs, middle school, high school, college too probably, but Excel is definitely better for businesses, unless you're presenting data to your business and care more about the appearance of your spreadsheet. Okay, on to presentation applications for Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, and for iWork, Keynote. PowerPoint is not as strong as the other applications in Office, and Keynote is the strongest application in iWork. So you guys are probably going to be able to figure out how this part of the video is going to end. Although both of the applications can handle photos, movies, and sounds, Keynote makes working with media a smoother experience. The templates provided are nice, and it's easy to create a professional-looking presentation from scratch. PowerPoint lets you choose a template after starting a document. Both applications have a similar interface. The Elements Gallery in PowerPoint contains themes, slide layouts, transitions, charts, and more. In Keynote, you can access media and objects such as charts in the toolbar. Both Keynote and PowerPoint have an inspector panel where you can make additional changes to templates and effects such as transitions. In PowerPoint, you can apply transitions directly from the Elements Gallery, which I like a lot. Unfortunately, there is no preview. You have to actually apply the transition and then view the slideshow to see what it looks like. Clicking Options lets you change the speed of the transition, along with a couple of other things. Transitions in Keynote are controlled in the Inspector under the Slide tab. There's a preview that shows the actual slide and the transition, so you can see exactly what your presentation will look like. More customization tools are offered, such as direction, and in my opinion, there are more unique transitions. Both applications have a nice selection of tables, but PowerPoints are all pretty ugly. Editing them in the formatting palette isn't difficult, but the interface is awkward to get used to. Keynote's tables have the same style as whatever theme you're using, so your whole presentation will look uniform. But you can always edit everything from background fills to alternating row colors. I'm actually surprised that making tables in PowerPoint isn't that easy, considering how powerful Excel is. In PowerPoint, I really like the Smart Art Graphics tab. It's the same one that's in Microsoft. It's the same one that's in Word with those, and they're very useful for presentations. Like I said when reviewing Pages, Keynote does not have any graphics like it, although you can always try to make your own with the Shapes tool, but it requires creativity and they don't look as polished. You can add a custom animation to objects in the Custom Animation tab within the Formatting palette in PowerPoint. They're called builds in Keynote. It's much easier to do in Keynote. You just customize the build in, the build out, and the actual action effect, and you have a very unique animation. On to exporting, Keynote can export as a PowerPoint file, but it messes up the transitions and effects that aren't available in PowerPoint. PowerPoint can save in various file formats, but Keynote gives you options for whichever format is selected, and it offers a couple more. So like I said at the beginning of this part of the video, Keynote is obviously the stronger application. PowerPoint's not bad, but it's got nothing on Keynote. That's it for my comparison video. I'm not really going to tell you which one's better. You can decide from watching the video. They each have their pros and cons. I just want to add one last thing, which is price. iWork is $79 for a single user, and Microsoft Office 2008 is $150 for the Home and Student Edition, which is usually all you'll need, but that is the cheapest version. So obviously iWork is a lot cheaper, but Microsoft Office does include a couple other applications. Microsoft Messenger, which is like messaging application, and Entourage, which is a mail application. So thanks for watching this video, and I just want to add that my videos, I haven't made as many videos lately because I'm back at school, tons of homework, and I'm on the varsity golf team, so I'm really busy.